C1, Graphs and Transformations of Graphs, past paper question, January 2009, question 5. So here we are given a graph of y equals f of x, which has a maximum at 0, 0, and has a minimum at 2, minus 1, and passes through 3, 0. So we are asked to draw on separate diagrams y equals f of x plus 3 and y equals minus x. Sorry, y equals f of minus x. And on each diagram we are asked to show clearly the maximum point, the minimum point, and the point of intersection with the x-axis. So for part A, y equals f of x plus 3 means that we are going to be moving 3 in the negative x direction. So here are my axes. So the graph is going to move 3 in the negative x direction. So the turning point, the maximum, instead of being at 0, 0, it'll be at minus 3, 0. And then the minimum, instead of being at 2, minus 1, it'll be at minus 1, minus 1. And of course, instead of crossing the y-axis at the x-axis at 3, it'll cross it at 0. So I need to write them points on. So this point here will now be at minus 3, 0. This point here will now be at minus 1, minus 1. And this point here, which used to be 3, 0, will now be 0, 0. So I only have to draw where I cut my x-axis, but of course that shows where I cut my y-axis as well. So now moving on to part B. So now we have y equals f of minus x, which means that we have a reflection in the y-axis. So here are my axes again. So this time we're going to have a reflection in the y-axis. So the graph will look the same, but it'll just be a mirror image of itself. So it doesn't have to be a work of art as long as you put on that this point here will still be at 0, 0. But now the minimum point here will be at minus 2, minus 1, and this point here where we cross our x-axis will be at minus 3, 0. So I have shown on each of these graphs where the maximum point is, the minimum point is, and the point of intersection with the x-axis.